G'day, welcome to the Nerdy Dad channel and the rewind review of the 8th Bad Batch episode, Reunion. I know this season is over a year old at this point, but I'm going to throw a quick spoiler warning up anyway. Remembering that Crosshair is still very much part of the Bad Batch, Reunion is an important episode in the overarching story of the Batch, and it was directed by Brad Rau and Stuart Lee. The Batch is still on Braca, but the episode opens on Kamino, and we get to check in with just how much more desperate the Kaminoans are becoming under the Empire. When Crosshair tells Rampant that he's found the Batch, the Kaminoan Prime Minister Lama Su wants him to capture them alive, but he is instructed to kill them because the Empire has no interest in a group of rogue clone deserters. Back on Braca, Wrecker is teaching Omega how to disarm an explosive in a scene that, look, my oldest son keeps telling me about from the funniest moments of the Bad Batch, even though he hasn't watched the episode in its entirety. Look, after this, the Batch realizes they're being watched by members of the Scrappers Guild, and the Batch neutralizes them before they can alert the Empire. Of course, what they don't realize is that either these Scrappers or another group have already told the Empire where they are, and Crosshair is already on the way. The reason that the Batch haven't left Braca yet is that, as I stated in the rewind review of Battle Scars, they're broke. And Hunter thinks there's enough items of value on the Venator-class cruiser that it's worth hanging around a while to scavenge some parts. Most of the Batch start gathering items in the armory, while Tech first reconnects the power, and then he starts to download valuable data from the bridge. He calls Omega up to help him access a tight space, and she sees a flashing red light. Tech tells her that it's a proximity sensor, and that it's probably just malfunctioning. But they very quickly realize that it's not a malfunction, as they watch a number of Imperial shuttles enter the atmosphere. The episode takes a break from what's going on Braca. It takes us back to Kamino. I'm likewise going to take a quick break and ask you to give me a like, subscribe, and say hi to me in the comments. Hello! On Kamino, Prime Minister Lama Su tells the Chief Medical Scientist Nala Se that they are engaging one or more additional bounty hunters to retrieve Omega. The episode returns to the action on Braca. Crosshair was a part of Clone Force 99 for most of his life, and he knows how the Batch thinks. He manages to corner them on the gun deck, while showing just how callous he has become, as he tells his trooper to target the kid before the Batch pull off what is an audacious move if you're being polite, or absolutely damned insane if you're being honest. But their backs were against the wall, and it worked. Crosshair, however, is one step ahead and leaves to get ahead of the Batch and tells another trooper to get onto the bridge and await his orders. Where the Batch ended up going was inside one of the ion engines, which gives them a way off the cruiser. However, as I said before, Crosshair, who is a sniper, got ahead of them. He pins the Batch inside the engine and tells the trooper on the bridge to fire it up. Thankfully for the Batch, the engine's got a little bit of an ignition sequence, and the Batch have 2 minutes to get out of there. They blow the part of the engine exhaust that they are in clear of the rest of the engine, which results in a bit of a rough ride, which separates Hunter and Omega from the rest of the Batch, but they got out of there alive. That part of the engine breaking free, combined with the timing of the engine roaring to life, also roasts Crosshair's face. When Hunter and Omega arrive back at the shuttle, they find a bunch of dead clones. When Hunter says that it wasn't the Scrappers' handiwork, we hear a familiar drawl saying, "Wasn't much work." That's right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where Cad Bane makes his appearance in the Bad Batch. Cad Bane beats Hunter to the draw, shoots him in the chest, before stunning Omega. We are treated to a very video game-esque first-person scene as Hunter comes to. The rest of the Batch are there, minus Omega, who's been taken by Bane, and they escape from the Imperials. And this is where the episode leaves it. And this is where I'm going to leave it for today. We're halfway through the series now, so please join me on Sunday as we get into the second half of the series and pick up with Omega and Bane in the episode Bounty Lost. This is the Nerdy Dad, signing off.